Let's roll.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hopefully, you had a great week. Hopefully, you are excited about football like we are. It's another edition of I Could Be Wrong Saturday. I'm Brad, of course. That's Justin. Good to see you, bro. Even though I just saw you a
You
little
too.
while ago. Uh, all right. So week 10 kicked off with an absolute thriller of a game between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Not too much to take away from this game as far as highlights. So I'll open it up to you first. If anything, what did you take away from the Thursday game?
Well, the the Broncos I took away, they're going to struggle in the playoffs. That's how I feel about it. They're clearly a playoff team, barring a catastrophic drop off in the second half of the season. They should make the playoffs. And when they do, they're going to find out real fast that Bo Nix needs to get it together. We had a segment on Wednesday to redraft those quarterbacks, and I had put Bo Nix at one. I really, really started to rethink that after the TNF game.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, there's clear evidence that he's kind of playing backyard football is what it looks like to me, and they're really relying on their defense, so they're winning in spite of him, not because of him.
yeah,
I mean, you know, they have all these one score wins, and
yeah,
it's not going to be sustainable throughout the playoffs. So I think they need to get it together with the Raiders. I mean, they're just in shambles. The Raiders actually blew a really, really good opportunity to take control of the game. If anyone watching the game saw it, I particularly saw it because I had a prop bet going for Trey Tucker. And at the time, he only had one reception. So they give him on a drag route. He goes for a touchdown, but offensive PI. So it gets called back. Then they, throw a couple of other passes his way. But that really stood out. And it's just like, man, just
yeah,
things like that, blown opportunities. They probably could have won this game had they got that touchdown because it was so tight. I mean, this game, it wasn't like the Broncos were a much better team than the Raiders.
yeah,
So, it's just little things costing the Raiders, and
yeah,
more of Geno Smith, of course.
yeah, definitely. Um, Yeah, I agree. I think Denver's definitely going to struggle when the playoffs come if their offense can't figure it out and get more creative and make some more big plays. Um, I mean, Oakland, Las Vegas' defense is nothing to write home about, and they held that offense to 10 points. Raiders also had a missed field goal, which could have tied the game as well in the fourth quarter, and who knows how the game turns out after that. So. Yeah, their defense is elite in Denver. Offense is too inconsistent to have any faith that they're going to hang on to the lead in the AFC West with the Chargers and Kansas City chasing them. They're in first place right now, but they still have both games against Kansas City left. They still have a couple other pretty tough games on the schedule, and they finished the season with LA, the Chargers. So, I don't think they're going to finish where they are right now. I do think they will make the playoffs, like you said, but it's going to be an early exit if the offense can't figure it out, which is kind of surprising because, Sean Payton's an offensive guru. The players just aren't executing. I think, like you said, there's a lot of backyard football, a lot of plays that are breaking down, and guys just running around trying to make plays. On the flip side, I also agree the Raiders are who they've always been. The Raiders are the Timu Cowboys. They're an immensely popular team that isn't worth a darn. They're just terrible. At least the Cowboys every now and then they put a good product on the field. They've made the playoffs a few times last few years. Um,
Top rated
they're
offense this year.
top rated offense, and they're exciting to watch on offense. So, I can understand why their fans follow them and stick with them. Raiders fans, I don't get it. But they just are an immensely popular team that is like I said, isn't worth the darn. So yeah, Raiders are who they've always been. Sorry, Jason and David. Oh, all right. Let's talk about Let's talk about, speaking of the Raiders, talk about the Brady Bowl that's going on tomorrow. New England Patriots are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think both of these teams have reason to be excited so far after the first half of the season. Both of them, I think, are sitting at six, or New England, I'm sorry, 7-2. Tampa 6-2 because they've already had their bye week. So both of them sitting at the top of their conference, not number one, but up close to the top. Um, I think New England they're this is a game, this is a chance for them to prove that they're not that up and coming team that everybody thinks they are. This is a chance for them to make a statement and say, "No, we're here. We're already here. We're not up and coming. We're not a
Right.
year ahead of schedule. We're right on schedule." And then I think on the flip side, Tampa Bay, they got to keep stacking dubs to stay pace in the NFC. There's a lot of teams with only two losses in the NFC, three losses right there with them. Um, you know, obviously missing Mike Evans hurts, but they've got some other offensive weapons. And they got a tough three-game stretch coming up. They start with New England, then they have Buffalo, and then the Rams after that. So they got to stack as many wins as they can. I think if I'm looking at it, I think New England's probably the most winnable of those three. If I was going to rate them, I think Tampa can win all of them. I think they have a chance against all three teams. But if I was rating in which game they have the best chance, I would go against New England. So I think they got to get this win at home before they go on the road for those next two. So I'm going to go with Tampa to win this one in a close one because that's just what Tampa Bay does. I think Baker maybe makes a play at the end and they come out with a 3-point win somewhere in there 23-20, 23-21, somewhere in that ballpark. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, I like it. I like the 3-point prediction. That's what I was going to go with, but I'm going the opposite. I'm going to take the Patriots. I'm on the Patriots hype train. I like Drake May. I
Yeah.
think he's
Oh,
playing great football, but more than anything, I think this game's going to be won on the defensive side,
yeah.
and I think the Patriots have the better defense currently. So when
Yeah.
it's in a close game, going to be a close game. The Bucks are down Irving another week. They're down Evans. They're down Godwin. They only have Egbuka. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Egbuka. Dude's a baller. Baker Mayfield has been playing lights out, but overall, the Patriots are the healthier team. They have the better defense, and I'm going to go with the
Okay.
Patriots by three.
All right. Okay.
Very good,
All
very
right.
close game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a competitive game. If they were playing in New England, I'd probably go the other way. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
take Tampa again at home. But I like it. I can't argue. I like Drake May. He's playing really good, playing lights out. They should be very confident going into the game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Coached really well. Combination of Rabel and Josh McDaniels is working out really well for them. So, like we talked about last week, I think it was on Monday. I talked about it. They've kind of reinstalled that Patriot way where they morph every week. It's not like the same offense every week. Or this, they base what they're going to do off of really mainly who they're playing, and it's a different offense that comes out every week, which Josh McDaniels is phenomenal at doing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see New England win, but I'm going to roll with Tampa Bay. Just I got that faith in them to win it at home. Should be a
Yeah.
good game though. It's going to be one of those ones that I have on the multi-view for sure.
Same.
Um, All right, let's talk about Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I'll open this one up to you. I think this is a big game in the AFC.
It's a game that I hate picking though. And here's why. Because both of these teams have been this year, right? Up and down,
Roller
up and
coasters.
down.
Yep.
They really have. I mean, I'd like to say, the Steelers are going to win if that defense shows up that showed up last week. But up until last week, that defense hadn't shown up. I'd like to say the Chargers are going to win, because their offense is phenomenal, and when they get that run game going, they can beat just about any team. Quentin Johnson got involved again last week. We had mentioned a couple weeks ago how you're like, man, he just fell off, and I was just saying, it's probably just game plan, game flow, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I think that's what happened. I'm going to take the Chargers because I just think they're a better team. They have shown a little bit more consistency on offense and defense. Um, I trust Herbert and that receiving core. more than I trust Rodgers and his receiving core. I let me retract that. I was going to say I trust the coaching staff better, but Tomlin, he's Hall of Fame
Oh
coach,
no,
so
man, Harbaugh's pretty damn good.
he is pretty damn good. Um, I'm going to trust Herbert and the
Okay.
Chargers more in this game. I don't have any fancy stats or anything like that. I just Chargers look better, on
Yeah.
game to me than the Steelers do.
Yeah, I can't argue. They definitely looked a lot better throughout the first half of the season for sure. I don't think that could be argued at all. And I agree with you. Both of these teams have kind of been up and down. I think more so for the Chargers is due to health, not so much
Yeah,
execution or anything like that. If they were fully healthy, I don't think that anyone would question who the favorite should be in this game. I also agree. I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be the key. If the same defense that showed up last week shows up this week, they got a really good
they're gonna
shot.
win.
They got a really good shot to win the game and not only stay ahead of Baltimore, but also give themselves a tiebreaker over the Chargers and vice versa. Chargers have the opportunity, should they end up tied at the end of the season, right? Because both of these teams are still vying for
Right.
their division, and then the playoff seeding comes into play then. So I think this is a big game in the AFC. I think it's not as big as maybe some of the other games that we've seen. Obviously, the Buffalo Kansas City game last week was a huge game, but it's going to be one of the bigger games throughout the year when you look back and say, okay, what games determined where teams ended up? I think this is going to be one of those ones that could go a long way in that. Um, I trust Herbert more than I trust Rodgers as well in this game. I like Mike Tomlin. You know me, I love Mike Tomlin. If I wasn't a 49ers fan, I'd probably be a Steelers fan because just how good they run their organization. But
Yeah.
I like Harbaugh in this new era slightly more than I like. I'd rather have Harbaugh than Mike Tomlin, in my opinion. I think he makes a bigger difference as far as the impact on the offense. Now, if I just wanted my players to learn how to be good people, I'd probably go with Mike Tomlin. But I'm going to trust Herbert. I think that as long as they protect Herbert, and like I said, don't allow Pittsburgh to get to tee off and get pressure and create turnovers, I think LA should feel pretty good about winning this game and keeping pace with Denver and staying ahead of Kansas City. So LA, that AFC West
Yep.
is a beast besides the Raiders, you know. Um, Big game next week too we'll talk about
It's almost
is
like the NFC West.
yep, exactly.
Three quality teams and the Cardinals.
Very true, very true. But yeah, there's another big game we'll talk about next week, Denver and Kansas City in that AFC
Ooh.
West. So that'll be a fun one next week. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers to get this win. Um, If I had to if I was going to just throw a score out there, I'll say it's going to be kind of like the last game we talked about. I'll go with 24-20 Chargers if I had to pick a score. So,
27-24. I'm gonna go Chargers.
okay. All right. I like it. I like it. Um, yeah. That should be another fun game, depending on which defense shows up for Pittsburgh. All right, we're going to skip over our Niners game. We're going to jump ahead to Monday night. Let's talk about the Eagles and the Packers, two teams that the 49ers are currently chasing to try and get back that number one spot and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I'll open this one up to you. What are some of the things that you're looking for in this one here Monday night?
Quarterback play in this one. Both of these quarterbacks are gonna go out and one of them's gonna have to play, a really lights out game because I think both defenses are good, and
Yeah.
with Green Bay's defense being a little bit better in my opinion, bringing more pressure off the edge, with Parsons. I'm still gonna pick Philly to win this game though. I just think overall they're a better team. Um, I had them at number one in my rankings, and I'm gonna keep him there right now.
Okay.
I think Saquon has a good game. Devonta has another good game, and the Eagles look good right now. I don't think there's any reason not to trust them at the moment. And the truth is, the last couple
Yeah.
weeks, I haven't heard much noise. about,
Eh,
AJ Brown wanting out, this person wanting out. And now that the trade deadline is passed,
eh,
you probably won't hear much noise anyways. So Green Bay's a good
eh.
team. I just still think they have another level they need to reach. Um, this game could be it if they beat the Eagles, and maybe this is the game they reach that level. But no, I'm going with the Eagles here. I
All
think
right.
it's going to be a lot of points on the board, though, to be
Okay.
honest. 30-28, 30-27, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of points on the board. Yeah, I think these are two teams that have also been up and down throughout the season, right?
Yeah.
When you look at their records, it may not seem like that, but these are two teams that have really kind of made you scratch your head at times and go, "What in the hell is going on?"
What are you doing?
I'd say Green Bay a little more with the losses to Cleveland and Carolina, but yeah, two teams that have been up and down. Philly did seem in their last game to kind of right the ship a little bit, and then they had their bye week last week, so that's one of the reasons we didn't hear a lot of noise about them. There was no game to
True.
critique,
True.
but that gave them an opportunity to kind of look at the film from their last game, kind of see how well they played complementary football, and maybe build on it. So I think this comes down to which team can play 4 quarters of complementary football. Which team can put together a full game of consistent, mistake-free football? Because we've only seen it really once from Philly, and I would say maybe once from Green Bay, if that. Because even in the games that they've won, there's been some mistakes where you kind of go, "Oh man, what's going on?" The Tucker Craft injury is going to be huge for Green Bay, of course, not having him. That he's their biggest offensive weapon. I know they have Josh Jacobs, but Tucker Craft was having an amazing season and impacting how Josh Jacobs' season was going in run blocking. So will they be able to find a way to make up for his production? I'm not really sure about that. And then it boils down to Philly. Can they force Jordan Love into making some bad decisions, um, like we've seen him do, like we saw him do last week? Last week, some of those passes was like, bro, what are you doing? So, especially without a security blanket. So, I agree with you. I think Philly is the favorite in this one. I'm going to take Philly. Um, I think it's going to be a little lower scoring than what you predicted. I'm going to go with let's say 24. Let's say 20. I'm going to stick in that same range I've been in. 24-20. I'm going to go with Philly over Green Bay. I
All
think
right.
Saquon has a solid game as well, and their defense makes a play or two to shut down Green Bay, forces Jordan Love into a mistake that Green Bay fans are used to seeing, but are probably tired of seeing. Also,
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur. Fucking give me a break. Anyways, I'll just leave it at
Oh,
that.
that's funny. Saquon really has to have a good game, in my opinion, in order for the Eagles to win. Because if he doesn't have a good game and Parsons can just tee off, knowing that they're going to throw the
Yeah.
ball, then
Oh, they'll be
they're
in
going to be
trouble.
in for a long game. So Saquon has to have a good game. And let's also not forget the Eagles got better during the trade deadline on defense.
Yep.
And so to see some of their new pieces, I want to see how they're gonna, be able to mix
Yep.
with the current roster and see if they're a good fit. I think they will be.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman's
Yeah.
usually pretty good at finding key players, so
Yep. For sure.
it'll be
Well,
interesting.
Jalen Phillips, he played under Vic Fangio
Oh, there you
already
go.
in his, so that's he should know the scheme pretty well. Shouldn't be too much different. So yeah, I think yeah,
You're gonna fit
Philly
right
should be the
in.
favorite. I think Philly's going to come out on top. That should be another good game to hopefully wrap up the week. But before that, let's rewind and go back to tomorrow. And let's talk about our 49ers taking on the Rams. 49ers obviously beat the Rams earlier this season in an exciting game that came down to the very end. Questionable play call by Sean McVay may have been the difference, may not have been the difference. Who knows? All we know is the 49ers won the game, and now they are playing at home, hosting the Rams on a full week. A little more banged up than they were the first time we played them. So
Quite a bit
be
more.
interesting. Yeah, I guess quite a bit, not a little bit. I think for me, I think this game's going to come down to the same thing it always comes down to between the 49ers and the Rams. Turnovers, who can protect the ball more or who can take it away more, and situational coaching decisions. What it always comes down to between these two teams, they know each other too well. The two coaches know each other so well.
Very
They've
well.
worked with each other a long time before they took their jobs. It always comes down to execution with these two teams, and whichever team can make the big play when they need it most. So I'll open it up to you. Let you give us your thoughts on this game, and then I think we both know where we're going, who we're going to pick. So go ahead.
Well, this game to me is going to come down to can our offense keep up with the Rams offense? Because quite frankly, I- I'm not going to trust our defense a whole lot
Okay.
against Stafford and that offense over there without Warner, no Bosa, no Michael Williams. I mean, listen, this is the type of game where you go, man, you really, really would love to have Warner because they are going to be hitting us with those crossing routes and slants. And I'm pretty sure they're aware of it too, you know,
Yeah.
just like us fans of what they're going to see on game day. But now, if our defense can play good and get some stops, like you said, a takeaway or something, then we definitely should come out on top. Um, but to me, this is going to be can our offense keep up with the Rams offense in a game that
Okay.
probably will put up a lot of points, I believe. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
really, I mean, all the other players, Puka, we know they're going to get theirs. CMC's
Yep.
going should get his. Like all these guys will probably get theirs, you
Yeah.
know. Um, Mac
Yep.
Jones is starting again for the Niners. He's already it's not a lot to say about him. He's already proven he's started quality. He can win us games. So he just got to go keep doing what he's doing and let's just I'm just hoping that the 49ers defense can limit Stafford in that high-powered offense and if they do, we're going to get that dub.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think the offense is going to have to score points. And then, like I mentioned, it's going to come down to who makes a big play in a crucial moment. And I think if the 49ers can somehow on defense create a turnover or two, give that offense a short field to work with, give them a couple of more opportunities on offense, I think that'll be the key to the game. If they're not able to do that, it could be a very long day on defense. And like you said, the offense is going to have to score a ton of points, which we've seen they can do, right?
Yeah.
They put up points. Um, it's just can they do it as consistently throughout the game as LA? And LA's, firing on all cylinders right now on offense for the most part. So yeah, I'm gonna put my faith in Salah. I'm taking Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh to beat Sean McVay. Strength in numbers, baby. Niners. I don't know what the score is going to be, and I don't give a damn. All I care is if the Niners win.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Niners to win it too because I think the 49ers have shown, like in previous seasons, in divisional games, especially in games against teams like the Rams, where there's just that real history between
Yeah.
the. See, it's different when we're playing the Cardinals. Shanahan and guy like Gannon, those two coaches don't have that history.
And
But with
Cardinals switch
McVay,
coaches too much to have any history.
yeah, right. But with Rams, they really do know each other very well.
Yep.
Saleh is very familiar with McVay and their system as well
Hmm.
because of his time with us in the past. So I'm
Yep.
going to have my faith in our team too. Um, the defense still does concern me, without our
Bryce
stars.
Huff's back.
Huff's back, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good
Um,
news.
so we'll see.
We'll see how Keon White, the guy traded for, was limited in practice the other day. So we'll see if he
Saw
gets
that.
on the field and if he can make an impact. Hopefully he can. I will say this though, Bethune, he continues to impress, look pretty good. He's not Fred Warner, but he does flash throughout the game all over the field.
Yeah, he
Um,
does.
so so if he can continue to improve, who knows? Maybe we have the next Fred Warner, you know. What I love is Kyle Shanahan. after these guys went out, he showed them the video of Fred Warner in his rookie season and showed him, and he was like, look, he didn't start out like he is now. He had to work
Right.
towards it. And I think that's a good, obviously a great coaching moment right there to say, hey, look, if you want to be like, we don't expect you to be like him, but if you put in the work, you can be like him. So I love
Right.
it. Speaking of Arizona, look, man, we need you to beat Seattle tomorrow. Please. Okay? We know it's probably not going to happen, but please beat Seattle tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. If things fall right, by the end of the week, the Niners could be in the number 2 spot in the NFC if they fall just right. So we'll see. Speaking of spots in the NFC, AFC, I was looking at it.